Welcome, Trials and Tribulations. We're bringing another special episode to you. Very own Unkasa, baby.
You already know, Praying Man Rockstar, Mr. Ferragamo, Casa Kalinsky. You know what it is, man. Trials and Tribulations. Every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock, man. Y'all niggas know what it is.
Tap in, baby. We out here. TTS on the road, baby. Another Tuesday episode coming to you live and direct. We on the road here. We had another special guest. I'd like to welcome to this episode. Let you do the honors. Introduce yourself and where you from.
You.
One more time.
You.
Oh.
Yeah, it's your boy, Mr. Cram Man Rockstar. Casa Cavalli, Mr. Call me everything but broke. Unkasa, man, in the building, New York City.
Welcome. This podcast is designed, to dive into people's stories, to inspire those that may be going through a struggled time and uplift them, shed light upon, the dark times, and let them know that there's still light at the end of the tunnel as long as they keep going. It may not be tomorrow, may not be next year, but that success will come as long as they keep stomping the grounds.
That's a fact.
So what was your life like growing up here in the city?
Well, growing up in the city, I grew up in the 80s. Harlem growing up, I was born in 79, so I never been to prison, so I seen all my time out here, minus a few days. Growing up in Harlem, I was like the crack era. I seen the emerging of crack, you know what I'm saying? I seen what it did to the city, I seen what it did to some of my closest friends' parents, you know what I'm saying? And that was it was like a bittersweet time growing up in Harlem, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot going on. It's a lot, you know what I'm saying? But we made it through, you know what I'm saying? Growing up here, drug dealers, you know what I'm saying? The murder game, I ain't lose, when I was coming up, I ain't really lose too many friends, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna lie. A lot of my niggas wasn't dying like the kids doing nowadays. I probably went to 2-3 funerals when I was a young kid, like for kids my age, you know what I'm saying? But it was fun growing up, you know what I'm saying? Harlem is flamboyant. It had a lot going on. It was a lot of life, a lot of money, a lot of things going on, you know what I'm saying? It's normal, like any other hood. You got your drug dealers, you got your niggas that play ball, you got your local weed niggas, you got your bad bitches, same thing, just a different area.
So what was it like, as a child in that area? You talk about the crack, you talk about, the projects and straight up poverty areas,
Well, like I said, growing up at that age, you don't really know what's going on like that. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna sit here in front like I really knew what was going on. You know what I'm saying? I knew what was going on to a certain level, but it was an underworld going on in New York, you know what I'm saying, that kids my age didn't really know about unless you was like hands-on. It was kids my age out hustling, 13, 14, 15, hustling, but for the most part, I grew up a normal life. I used to be in gymnastics, going to the park, flipping on dirty mattresses. I grew up dancing, I grew up writing on the walls, normal, hood shit, you know what I'm saying? Smoking weed, not too much extracurriculum shit. I always put myself through shit to stay out the way, you know what I'm saying? I used to go to this acting school up on Olinville Avenue in the Bronx called Mind Builders with one of my best friends, Aaron, you know what I'm saying? So we was putting ourselves through acting and drama classes and shit just to stay out the way. I was still hustling and all that, but for all the extracurriculum shit, not to be locked up or die early, I put myself in, activities to do to, expand the arts that I know I had besides the street shit.
Absolutely. So at what age would you say you want to take to the streets and start playing around in that type of field?
It don't never be no age. It just kind of happens.
It just came upon you.
Like probably like my first. I tell niggas all the time. My first drug transaction was was like 5, 6 years old, involuntarily by my pop strapping drugs to me, sending me in the building, somebody taking drugs off me, taping money to me and sending me back out the building to my pop. So I'll say like 5 years old.
Would you
6 years
consider
old.
yourself a leader or a follower at that age?
A leader or a follower? I don't really know what the fuck was going on at 5, 6 years old. I was
Okay.
just here. I was existing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't fully grasped into my knowledge of knowing what the fuck was going on. But I remember what happened, so that's why I can tell you that.
So as you develop, you figure middle school, because you made it all the way through high school, right?
Yeah, I left high school around 10th, 11th grade.
At what age would you say it started getting troubled?
I never had a troubled life.
Okay,
I ain't never had no. I ain't gonna say I grew up. My mom's wasn't no fucked up.
so you grew up in a well-being.
I grew up with my mom's and my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? My pops, he was. I wouldn't say he was there. He was existing. He was around. You know what I'm saying? I know what my pops is. You know what I'm saying? But I grew up raised by women. My aunts, my mother, my grandmother, shit like that.
I mean, you're grown up now, but would you feel as though it impacted your childhood not having your father around?
No, not really. I ain't really give a fuck after a while. After growing up without a pops is normal from where I'm from. So a lot of my niggas ain't have pops, so I ain't really see it as nothing. I ain't paid attention to that shit. I was worried about feeding myself.
You've always been musically inclined?
Very early. Very early. My mom's always played hip hop, Motown in the house since I was born. You know what I'm saying? So I say around the age 8, 9 when I started rapping. You know what I'm saying? A couple of family members had lost their crib due to some circumstances back then, and they moved in with us. So it was like close to like 9 to 10 people living in a 1-bedroom apartment. You know what I'm saying? This way. Or like it was like 9 people living in a 1-bedroom apartment. And my god brother Matthew, he used to work for Kenny System at Yankee Stadium. It was like a parking, he was basically like a parking assistant. And every night he'd come home and he'd just be beating on a chair and writing rhymes. So one day he was writing rhymes and he got like stuck on like a word. He needed a word to rhyme with Wanda. And I said Honda. And he was you seen him like putting it together in his head. He was like, oh shit. Yo, good looking, Tone. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, it was like they moved away like probably 6 months later and he left his rhyme book. And then me and my moms moved with my grandmoms. And the last thing that was in that apartment was that rhyme book. And I just took the rhyme book with me. You know what I'm saying? It's, the kind of structure to see how to rhyme and shit like that.
So I heard you know Rich Porter, huh?
Yeah, I grew
His
up with
brother?
Yeah, I grew up with Darnell. I went to school with Darnell.
What was that relationship like?
It was cool. It was like, I won't say we was the best of friends, but we went to school together. You know what I'm saying? And like he was the kid that would buy everybody ices at lunchtime, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of fucked up because we was young. We really didn't, when you young, you 11, 12 years old, and your friend get kidnapped, you don't really know what's going on. Like, ain't until like 15, until 16, and when I start hearing the stories to really grasp it, like, that's what was going on, you know what I'm saying, back then. So, Darnell was a cool kid, you know what I'm saying? He really ain't deserve that. They actually, we got a petition out that's going, I'll put the link in my Instagram page later on tonight. It's a petition to actually get his own block named after him. So that's what's going on right now. So shout out to the Porter family, Laurel, Pat, AZ, all the Porters. Rest in peace, Darnell, Rich, Miss Velma.
Rest in peace, brother. What artist do you enjoy recording with the most and why?
Jewels, Cam, Lupe. Like, those are some of the best people I like to record with.
Okay, why do you say that?
The chemistry.
It's just a unique set, huh?
Organic. Like, it ain't no made up shit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing structured. We just go let them clips off. You know what I'm saying? I always like send it. That like like niggas. Those is niggas that I lived with. We woke up, slept to beats. You know what I'm saying? So those are the niggas that I enjoy the most recording with. You know what I'm saying?
Now, your era of coming up in music, there was a lot of other cliques in music and everything in the area, correct?
Yeah. I came up in a different type of era of hip hop. It was a bunch of MCs coming up. When I was coming up, you had a Vacant Lot. That was Mino, Hot Ones, Dame Grease. You had the Teamsters. You had Mike Boogie. You had Trooper J. You had Murder Mace. You had Cam. You had a lot of MCs. Baby Thad. It was a lot of people out in the battle game that like the battle scene back then is not like what the battle scene is that you know it today, more commercialized. Like you go to a nigga block with 15 of your niggas and y'all niggas spit. It wasn't no personal raps. It was all about who had the dopest shit. You know what I'm saying? It was a bunch. Man, I can name over 100 MCs that was killing shit back then. But you know, niggas like Los from B-More used to come to 45th. We used to go at it all the time. I went at it with Cassidy when he first came to New York. You know what I'm saying? Me and my niggas went up to the Rough Rider studio and battled Cassidy and his Larceny niggas. I remember one time me and Lupe actually battled over the phone for 2 hours. No, we actually battled over the phone for like 45 minutes, and then when we met each other in person, we battled for 2 hours. That's how shit used to be, just random. Like, that's how shit used to happen. Me battling Drag On, random in the rain on 45th, one rounder. Whoever got the best
Just
verse.
flame.
Just flame. That's how shit used to happen. It was never shit like planned. Like nowadays, it's a date and shit like that, and it's a card, and niggas getting money for it. It wasn't no money for no
What's your
battle.
personal opinion on that? I mean, from nowadays to back then. I mean, we both know it's all watered down now, but like give a little self-explanatory on that.
Today, I feel like the battle game that I came in was WWF, and this shit is WWE. It was more realistic. Like when Jimmy Snuka get busted upside his fucking head by Macho Man with a bell or some shit, and that type of shit.
That's just for real.
Like I came from Jimmy Snuka era, Bob Backlund, Hulk Hogan, Iron Sheik, Junkyard Dog.
Just to name a few.
This shit nowadays.
That's back in the day, man. That brings us back.
This shit nowadays is gold dust. Niggas like that, Undertaker, and niggas popping out. You know what I'm saying? This shit is different. It's you know, it's entertainment. It's more entertainment now.
I mean, that's the life that we live in, you know. Everything's fucking computer animated and this, that, the third. And
But the reason why it's like that was because anybody can make music now. It wasn't as easy as to get studio time back then. You know what I'm saying? Me, Taj, we used to spend hundreds, thousands of dollars in the studios. You know what I'm saying? Studios until we got our own. Now,
so would you say the price is more back then than it is now?
Hell yeah, you had to go rent studio time. Now you can get a M audio microphone, plug that shit up into your laptop, turn on GarageBand and make a record, upload it to SoundCloud, and hope it hit. That's how shit is nowadays. But back then, you had to book 5-6 hours. It might be $50 to $100 an hour. The engineer might not even be that nigga to have your shit sounding the way you sound. It was definitely harder than it is now to make music.
Who's the best engineer that you work with?
I work with the greats, so I say Young Guru, Sal, Red Bricks, Syracuse. Bunch, you know, I work with top notch niggas. So, but I say for our sound, for like hardcore rap, Sal from up in Syracuse, or Young Guru. You know what I'm saying? Those are the best engineers I've worked with. You know what I'm saying?
How would you measure success?
Success is a perspective. Success don't always come within wealth. Success can come within living, good health, knowledge. That's success. Success is whatever you want to make it. Success is whatever achievement and whatever accolade that you celebrate. That's what success is. Success is not always money. You know what I'm saying? That's how I measure. I measure success off of character. Because it's a lot of, you can be a rich motherfucker, but you can be a dead asshole. Like money nowadays is ego driven. You know what I'm saying? Everybody going off of ego. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. It's perspective. A homeless person can be successful by just getting a meal today. He might have not ate yesterday. Today was a successful day. You know what I'm saying? That's how I measure success. It's perspective.
I know you've had a lot of relationships in your journey. You've been friends with Karen Civil?
Yeah, I was in a relationship with her at one time. Shout out to Karen Civil. She's a very successful woman right now. You know what I'm saying?
Would you like to elaborate on that relationship?
Not really.
Okay. What was it like your first time performing?
I've been performing since I was a little kid. This shit started in church.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's just natural for you to be up there?
It's just natural.
No butterflies,
I wasn't the nigga that was going to the park to play ball or none of that shit. If I went to the park, it was either smoke or to flip off of some shit. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't a basketball playing.
He's one of those parkour kids, huh?
Yeah, I'm going to the park for extracurricular shit, hustling, smoking weed, flipping. I wasn't an athlete nigga. You know what I'm saying? I always wanted to entertain. For Christmas, I always told my mom to get me a keyboard, a microphone, solid gold guitar, drums, beat machine, shit like that. I never wanted a basketball, football. Bring that shit to me on Christmas and shit. That shit gonna stay in the plastic, or I'm gonna give it away. I wasn't one of them niggas. Straight entertainment. I always studied the best actors, the best dancers, the best poets, all that type of shit. I was always into entertainment. I always knew I was gonna rap. Always.
So did you always spend your time in school? You know, you said you studied art and you studied these actors.
I got knowledge of self.
So how can you suggest it to the average kid? You know what I mean? Because nowadays a lot of kids have ADHD. You know what I mean? Have learning disabilities. They don't want to learn. The parents they ain't teaching them. What can you suggest to the youth now to make sure you know what I mean you can be successful?
Being self-taught. Teach yourself. If the curriculum is slow that somebody else is teaching, teach yourself. Knowledge is not a race for knowledge. Knowledge is infinite. You can never stop learning. You can never stop learning. Absolutely. You can stop growing. You can do a lot of stuff, but you can never stop learning.
It's all by choice.
It's all about choice, you know what I'm saying? You learn every day. You know what I'm saying? So
what has been your biggest obstacle in life?
Being myself. Not switching up. Not compromising who the fuck I am for somebody else to be happy with me. That was my biggest obstacle.
So you didn't bend or break, you just was you.
Just me.
Either accept you or not.
Niggas was like, yo, get contacts. You'll never get a record deal. I ran through 3-4 record deals. Change your glasses, you'll never fuck bad bitches. I don't fuck niggas' baby mamas. Went around the world, made millions of dollars.
Is that true? You got a toe fetish?
Huh? Yeah. Super foot fetish. Love pretty feet.
Doesn't matter the size, they get big chunky ones or
Nah, you gotta be. I got
they gotta
a certain
be precise,
preference,
right?
but you gotta keep the toes done. You know what I'm saying? You can tell a lot about the way the woman keep her feet. She keep her feet and her nails together. She keep everything else together.
I know you got some interesting stories.
Yeah, of course I do.
Let's hear one.
Like far as what? What type of story you want?
Your toe fetish. You know what I mean?
Nah, I ain't really got no story about no toe fetish, but it's just like, you know, like I used to have, when I was on Twitter heavy, I used to have the color of the week, and girls used to send me the pictures of their toes after they get the color that I picked. I'd be like, yo, the color of the week is tennis ball green, and you have a bunch of 50, 60 girls on my Twitter sending pictures of their feet of the color that I picked. So, you know, I always been attracted to pretty feet. It's just some shit that, you know, a lot of my niggas ain't even fucking with feet. You know what I'm saying? But I'm down with the foot fetish world. Definitely.
Okay. We all have our own preference.
Definitely.
What are your goals and how do you set them?
I don't really set goals. I just execute shit. Anything I put my mind to, I'm just saying, if I want to do it, it ain't no goal to do nothing. It's like, if I want to do it, I'm just gonna do it.
And if the world aligns itself, it's gonna happen.
If it's aligned itself, sometimes you gotta make the world align. We gods.
Okay.
Sometimes we can create. So that's what I do. I don't go off
About
a
a
goal.
lot of attraction.
I ain't setting no goals, because with a lot of goals comes with failure and disappointment. So I just execute shit. It's like if I say I'm gonna do a movie, I'm gonna just do it. It ain't no goal to do it. It ain't no time limit to do it, as long as it get done. It's about execution.
Now you belong to a powerful team back there, right?
Yep.
Who was that?
The almighty DIPSET, the almighty Senate, one family, Purple City. I was among a lot of things. I brought a lot of things. You know, I'm a part of a lot of things. I never, it's not a separation within Taliban, Purple City, DIPSET, Senate is all one family to me. That's how we came in the game. Niggas made it separate, you know what I'm saying? But we was one family.
What's your take on that? What do you feel as though why it went separate?
Egos and money.
So if you could go back to that time, would you like to see anything different?
Only thing I'd do different is not fuck with a lot of niggas.
So you wouldn't put those eggs in all the baskets.
Yeah, I would have did things totally different. I wouldn't have been so personal with niggas. Everything would have been business.
No, you had a couple drops on them, right? On a couple albums there, on that one there.
Yeah, the most infamous one is the Diplomat intro. If you go back to the Diplomat albums, I really wasn't on the albums like that. I had moments. You know
Now, why is that?
You know, shit. You gotta ask the people that controlled it.
How do you take from that? You know what I mean? What's your position on that?
I'm grateful for every moment I had. It's about being grateful. You know what I'm saying?
So you enjoyed, you know what I mean, what you experienced?
I loved it, even the bad shit, cause it wasn't a loss. It was a lesson. See, me and my niggas, we don't lose. We learn. It's a lesson. If you're a loser, you just a loser. Because something ain't happened the way I needed to be or I wanted to be, don't mean I lost. I learned from it. I learned how to make that shit happen.
When did you get your first record deal?
Like, my first record deal was like an independent deal with Selecto. Like, when I was like in '93, I had a rap group called Triple R, Rough, Rugged, and Raw, with this kid named One Saw and my other brother Lamont. I actually met One Saw when I was getting surgery on my foot. I had stepped on like a piece of plastic that went like 2-3 inches deep in my foot. And the kid that was in the room with me in Harlem Hospital was in a full body cast because him and his sister got hit by a bus. You know what I'm saying? And we got cool, and as years went on, I turned like 13 or something. And this kid walked up to me one day and was like, yo, your name is Tony? Your name is Antonio? I'm like, yeah. And I looked at him, I'm like, yo, you look familiar. And it popped off in my head. I seen a body cast in her face. I was like, you One Saw? He was like, yeah. From that day, it went from us reuniting from the 80s to the 90s to 2-3 days after we reunite, we started a rap group. First time we ever performed was at this club called Indigo Blue. I don't even know if it exists no more. I remember we took first place in a talent show, and we got the rap for Scarface back in the days.
What was that like?
It was dope. It was dope. It was dope. I was young, so you know I was just happy to be people to cheer me on when I was on stage. You know what I'm saying? That was I met a lot of people in my life, so I never got excited to meeting people. You know what I'm saying? It just naturally happened. Being from Harlem, this is where a lot of shit go down. So meeting people was never like exciting for me. It was just an experience.
You was friends with Juelz, right?
Yeah, I love him. Juelz, that's my brother.
So
I haven't spoke to him in a while, but that's still family.
Out of choice or just busyness and stuff?
By the way of the world, man. Some people grow apart.
Do you wish things were different?
No.
Okay.
Things, like I said, things are the way it's supposed to be, man.
You don't question. They just accepted it for what it is, and
That's it. You know what I'm saying? I don't regret nothing. I don't have no bad blood with him, so it's not like I regret anything. I don't have no bad blood. It's just like people grow apart. You know, we all older. We all have kids now. You know what I'm saying? You know, we all doing other things. You know, shout out to Jewels in his new venture. I can't feel my face. Shout out to him. Shout out to little Juju, his son. Proud of him. Keep working.
so what's up with some music? When's the last time you dropped something? You been working on something?
Last time I dropped music was like 2 years ago. I dropped on Christmas Day. It was called Vanilla Sky 3. It was just like a little experiment to get the rust off. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't really inspired by music. Not saying I retired or now. I just wasn't inspired. The whole shit jaded me. The business, just the trials and tribulations in the game. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot on my mind. So I left. I didn't say I retired or I left the game. It was just like sometimes you gotta just stop doing things because mentally it was hurting me. It was a strain. You know what I'm saying? Being one of the nicest niggas in the world, we not getting rich from it. Being depressed from that, shit not going on the way it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So it jaded me. So I just was like, if this shit is hurting me mentally, let me just stop it. Don't matter how nice I am. So I found enjoyment in other ventures and talents that I have, as far as fashion, as far as acting. For the last 5 years, I've been a part of a cast, the Brooklyn Way. Shout out to Gap Murder. You know, we won a couple of web series awards. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing the acting. I got a merch line, cranberry and vodka. So, you know, that's
Make sure you tune in with that clothing line too. Brody was showing me some of this stuff before the podcast here. That shit fire.
So that's what I did. I just projected my talents into other ventures. I never really stopped doing music, but the last project I did was Vanilla Sky 3. You can get that from me by hitting me via Instagram, through Cash App, and you get your digital copy with pictures, artwork, and bonus songs, or you can go download it or stream it on Apple Music and all the other streaming sites.
So after your little break, though, you feel as though you're ready to come back with something nice, something special, something that's like a takeover?
I'm working on new projects. I'm gonna definitely put out Vanilla Sky 4. That's gonna be the last installment to the Vanilla Sky, series. But I'm definitely about to get back in the studio with my up top niggas, Great God, Sammy G. I'm about to get rest in peace, Stuntman Dozer. I want to have a moment of silence for my brother Thump before we continue too. Rest in peace, Stuntman Dozer.
Absolutely. Rest in peace. I feel honored and privileged for you to invite me to your house here and do this show, to deliver this message. And
I appreciate y'all.
I know I'm looking forward to it because I
Appreciate
know
y'all.
there's something special coming.
Yeah, definitely. You know what I'm saying? I have to, let them know I still got a bunch of fucking clips. You know what I'm saying?
You got some shit in the cut that you probably ain't even touched yet.
I got some shit. I just got a bunch of shit that just need to be recorded. Like I said, I wasn't really inspired by music, but I like what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I like what's going on. I listen to everything. I listen from everything from drill to Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? I listen to everything. I just be liking to be on point and knowing what the fuck is going on. Because all this shit is, it's still competitive. You know what I'm saying? But the niggas that's in my field of rap, y'all niggas is in trouble. I gave y'all niggas enough time to get right. Y'all got your houses, y'all got your cars, your jewelry, all the bitches. Get ready for a drought on all that shit. Cause me and my niggas coming back, we gonna really set the standards and show y'all what upstate hip hop originated and what it really sound like. And this is all authentic, cause this shit is documented. We upstate hip hop. We started that shit. We set the standards for niggas to do what they doing now. Everybody know that. Last 20 years, we put them numbers up on the board. When nobody wouldn't fuck with niggas from Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, we was. We was the first niggas doing songs with Benny. We was the first niggas doing songs with 38 Special. Niggas that had it rocking. Us. Yeah, the boys. And we never went nowhere. We just let niggas do them. And we proud of everybody. We ain't hating, but like I said, everything is competitive. And when we open up that Lionsgate, just be prepared for the fucking drought. Because if you ain't dropping no heat, it's gonna dry up on niggas. I'm telling you, shit gonna dry up on niggas, B. I'm telling you, because I already know. Niggas know when that authentic shit, and it keep coming. It's like a flood. It's just like a flood gonna go open with nothing but music, movies, videos, content, merch, everything, and it's all in funny, fair war and game. But this year, 2023, we gonna show who's the better MCs, who got the better beats, who really get fresh. Who, you know what I'm saying, who really throw that shit on, who really get in the booth and put on. We gonna show all that shit. We gonna demonstrate this time.
Exposure season.
Cause when we is coming up, we ain't had none of this shit. We ain't have none of this shit to have fun with. You know what I'm saying? You know, the biggest...
Or the people that would even want to help.
You know what I'm
saying? You guys had to make your own way.
Nah, nobody ain't want to help. Me and Taj, we was driving from New York to Des Moines, Iowa, selling tapes. You know what I'm saying? We was doing that. Out the trunk. We was taking artists to their own towns and making sure they CDs was getting sold. Niggas was going to their own town, wasn't known. And we was making that shit happen. Remember, we like, shout out to Jay Bezel. Remember, Jay Bezel was one of the hottest niggas coming out of Philly. He was dead on fire. He just did the hook for Jim on a Certified Gangster, but nobody really knew him in his region at that time. You know what I'm saying? Being from Philly, you know, it was niggas like Joey Jihad, The Figures, Meek Mill, Murder Mill, or it was a bunch, Beanie. You know, you was hearing those niggas from Philly, but Bezel was a nigga that was from Philly that was nice, but niggas just didn't really know him in his region. But when we went out there, we was making sure that nigga mixtapes go to every store. We had every list from here to Jamaica, nigga. Didn't matter. We was hitting them spots, or we was driving. I'm like we ain't have social media. We can get on Instagram, post a song, niggas go streaming or nothing. Nah, we is touching the people with these tapes. You know what I'm saying? You have to be outside, like they say now. You had to be outside. You had to be moving around. You had to be mobile for your music to get to where it got for us.
I mean, I firmly believe in that. You know, it's not going to sit there and come to you. You know, opportunities definitely going to come to you. You got to get up and go get them.
Nah, we was never lazy. You know what I'm saying? We had, once niggas got it to where they had their own studio, that shit was like, we applied what we was doing in the streets to the studio. We know in the streets, to run the streets, you need that work. So we was going in that studio and giving that work, not leaving that shit. Stay in that shit 4-5 days, go take a shower. Hope that shower lasts you for another 4 or 5 days, go in. We was doing the Taj Mahal Unkasa shows in 2-3 days. We was knocking out them joints 2-3 days. Easy.
So let me ask you this. Would you say that break that you took to where you at right now, you'd have to put more notches in your journey, you know what I mean, and sit there and rock these people to sleep that think they are where they are because of who they are?
Like I said, we done went to Des Moines, Iowa, where the population of black people was, what, 3%? 2%? Some shit like that. You gotta be on the road. You gotta be out touching these spots. Buffalo, Doris Records, we was there. Like, I'm not smelling my shit. No, I'm pulling up in that town.
Dropping it off.
Shout out to Young Mike at the time that was out there. Shout out to Mike Pratt.
Back then, what was your favorite studio to record in besides, you know, because there wasn't that much. You didn't have the technology that you guys have nowadays.
The Home in the Senate. Ain't no vibe like it. Home in the Senate. Home in the Senate on that north side of Solana. No vibe like it. Still to this day, it's no vibe like it. I done recorded in the best studios, Hit Factory and all that. No vibe like that north side of Solana studio. No vibe like it. Ever. That's where all that heat was coming from. You know what I'm saying? That's what all that heat. Like I like it was pressure on me to put out good music.
You had to.
Because I had to. If I be in the booth and I look outside that glass and niggas' face don't look like they smelt some shit, I gotta
You ain't say nothing.
get out, get back to that pen. You know what I'm saying? That work ethic was always there. You know what I'm saying? It's just about, like, now it's about timing and marketing and all that. You know what I'm saying? So
What would you say your top 5 hooks is?
my top 5 what?
Hooks.
That I did?
Just in general, anybody that you can recall upon. I mean, we know you got some.
Damn.
That really made you do that. Like you said, you smelled that shit. Like,
Oh, when I heard that, this one joint. Damn. It's some old Senate shit. I think it was Hawks Out. And I heard that shit. I was like, what the fuck? Yo, we went to Buffalo to perform this shit, right? Yo, before we even get to the spot to perform this shit, bro, this Hawks Out was ringing through Buffalo, Rochester, Niagara Falls. That shit was one of the hardest joints, right? So we get to the spot, we pull up to the club exit, and niggas was running out. Somebody already got hawked in this shit before we even get to fucking perform this shit. Like the beat, like niggas was just about to hit the stage and shit. Like I seen our music do some different shit. Like niggas
transform a whole crowd.
Yeah, I seen our shit do. I seen like some shit that we did 24 hours ago and it dropped the next day and that shit ring through the town. You ain't never seen that shit. Like niggas ain't doing that. Like these niggas nowadays, these artists nowadays, it's a room about this big with about 1,500 phones and a nigga pressing a button and all them phones is playing their music. Nah, we is selling out. Every mom and pop store, you couldn't keep an Unkasa in here. You couldn't keep a Senate mixtape in them shits. Gone. Niggas cop them shits. If everybody drop at the same time, they copping all them shits. And that's just how it works. We put in the work like manually, like all this generic computerized shit. Now you have to go touch the people. You know how many autographs outside? You know how many pictures I took? You know how many floors I slept on? You know how many studios I recorded in? You know how many features we gave out for free? Niggas we wasn't charging niggas.
I mean, the people nowadays is different from the people back then. You know what I mean? Back then, the people authentic. They real. You know what I mean? They know.
And I'm just saying that for the local artists. You know what I'm saying? Niggas, you know, we was getting our features here and there, making our MySpace money. Well, I made a bunch of money on MySpace. But I'm talking about all the local artists that was just getting their buzz and trying to get their feet wet. Niggas was getting features from Unkasa. I was dead hot.
Yeah, but you never turned your back. You never changed on that.
Nah, because I knew what it was to be him, that same artist that was hoping to get on a song with a hot nigga at the time. Nobody never did that shit for me. I had to grind to get to where I had to really prove myself to get on the Diplomat album. I was living in Chicago with Lupe at the time when I found that I was when I was on a Diplomat album. I read that shit in a magazine. I never knew what I did in the studio with Cam was going to materialize to the Diplomat intro, as y'all know it today. A lot of people don't even know Kanye West produced that beat. I came in the game on the Kanye West beat. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people ain't know that. First nigga sleep.
Sound like we in the woods here, back in Syracuse.
He over there mowing that.
Been sleep.
He over there mowing that lawn. But yeah,
That's what make these casts, you know, unique when we come into these spots like this. It's very authentic. It's very unique. It's I got Teletubby 1, Teletubby 2. Oh, you fell over. You got high.
But now
But back here got high.
you have to really be outside, man, and just being a genuine artist and being it was cool. It was cool doing those features and all that. You know what I'm saying? It was cool touching the artist and being next to, just, getting to see things blossom. You know what I'm saying? We had a whole sound for Syracuse. People still to this day, a lot of people think I'm from Syracuse, New York. I'm from Harlem, New York. It's just that I got with a bunch of real solid niggas that brung me in since 1999, and we've been family ever since. You know what I'm saying? Niggas ain't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Then I went upstate on some get money shit. It wasn't even a bit about no rap shit. You know
I mean, that individual alone there, you know what I mean? You and I both know this industry ain't what it is, you know?
You know what I'm saying? So that's what like I said, we wasn't it, but it was like the niggas that I went out of town with niggas was doing bullshit, and he seen that, and he took a liking to me because I wasn't going for it, and he was just like, that's not no, y'all niggas from y'all supposed to be, niggas ain't supposed to be moving like that out of here. And when them niggas went back to New York, I stayed. You know what I'm saying? I never left Taj. You know what I'm saying? Me and Taj never had no argument. That's my older brother. You know what I'm saying? He showed me, taught me a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? He got knowledge himself. It was always about rap. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, let me drop some jewels. Let me help you get some money in your pocket. Come, nigga, get out the house. Come up top. Come fuck with me. I ain't gonna do that shit these niggas is doing. I don't move like that. I move on a totally different principle of life. And I know Sammy G for over 20 years now. Thump, shout out Free Louis Vuitton. Like, them been like since they was young kids. Young niggas. Young. First time I met Thump Mendoza, he had a big ass tech on his neck on a shoestring. Young, probably was 18, 19 years old, some shit like that. Wow, Syracuse. Like, I've been out in them streets. Like, when I went to Syracuse, I was out in them streets. I wasn't sitting in no fucking crib. I was walking through territorial spots. If you familiar with Syracuse, you know shit lit out there. Like, I always tell my niggas from New York, like, y'all niggas think Syracuse is the orange, man? Y'all niggas is bugged the fuck out.
It's funny because they think that once you get past the city here, everything's country.
I said, niggas will smoke your fucking boots, nigga. I was walking through territories, boot camp, 110, Murder Ave, by myself to check these niggas, going to the rec center to go check my niggas, Harlem niggas. And I had a little buzz at the time, you know what I'm saying? But then after I did the Diplomat intro and doing all the Purple City shit, I was still welcome in that city like that. Still, east, west, north, south.
Not a lot of people can do that though, you know.
Nah, not no New York nigga. I don't know a New York nigga that was doing that. Not at that time, not where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? I don't know no nigga that was connected to the streets of Syracuse like I was. I can tell you an LL story, bro.
Let's hear it. We got no but time.
My man, Young Mike, he booked me for a show in Buffalo. And me just being a street nigga, I didn't want to be cooped up in my hotel. So, I went and did the meet and greets at Doris Records and going to the local food spots and all that shit. So one day after I finished the show out there, niggas went back to a trap spot. Everybody in the trap spot was so drunk and high off of E-pills and shit, and everybody was fell asleep. I wound up fucking finishing niggas packs for them while everybody was asleep, because they was in a 24-hour trap house. And when them niggas woke up the next day, I had everybody money in a black plastic bag. They was looking for their work. I was like, man, that shit is finished, bro. They was like, yo, you was busting the looks out the window all night? I was like, yeah, nigga, I was the only one up. You think I'm gonna fall asleep in this shit? I might as well get the money. You know what I'm saying? And from there, that story still rings around Buffalo. Like, niggas be like, yo, I heard, like, one of my mans just came home and said, yo, I was locked up with up north. Yo, it's true you did this? I was like, yeah, that shit happened. You know what I'm saying?
That's love right there, man. You won't get that. Shit, the average Joe would have probably, let me grab this up and go. Everyone's already out.
I'm just used to being ghetto, man. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I wouldn't do that shit nowadays. I was young. I was probably like 20, 22, 23, young. You know what I'm saying? But it was just some shit that happened. You know what I'm saying? People think it's a myth now. That shit really happened. Like, it's a lot of shit that great God can tell you about, like, shit that we lived in Texas. You nigga done seen me take.
Was you chasing music on Texas, or you just upped it out?
Yeah. We had a condo out there. We was riding around in Bentleys, Benzes, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? We lived out there. The atmosphere is beautiful. The weather's beautiful. The clubs is crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I was a little bit more flamboyant and cocky. I remember one time I was in a club and the girl was like, "Y'all love your sneakers." I seen them. I couldn't find them nowhere. I took them off my feet and gave them to her and walked out the club in my socks.
She probably still remembers that.
If Shorty definitely still remember that. Ain't nobody never did no shit like that.
Nah, that's something special.
I did that, and I just did it as a stunt. Like I'm just stunt. I'm just stunt.
Definitely a stunt.
You know what I'm saying? But
I hope you wasn't stepping on rocks that night.
no, I jumped in the back of a Bentley.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? We got the black Bentley and Benz back to back that night.
What was it like living that then? You know what I mean? Like,
Back then, a lot of money. The money was easy to get. We were selling mixtapes like how niggas were selling crack. For real. We were selling thousands of mixtapes, bro. I'm talking about.
now was you simulating fine art with you guys' tapes? You know what I mean? To try to sell faster, or was you just getting them shits up and out?
Now we package them shits up, and we go hit every store from New York to Des Moines, Iowa.
All up and down.
We used to go sell a few thousand CDs with School Do. Shout out to School Do. Used to go to Jersey and go hit up every mom and pop spot out there and be sold out. Then go hit up Philly. Then go hit up Binghamton. Then go hit up Ithaca.
Did you guys have a lot of shows too?
Shows?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a few shows.
Nice.
We did a few shows, but you know what I'm saying? I remember one show we did, and nigga threw ice on the stage. And I like, it kind of fucked up my performance, and so I kept performing. And as I'm looking to the side performing, these niggas fucking the nigga up, beating the shit out the nigga in the club. Boop, boop, boop. The rest of my niggas packed that nigga the fuck up out of there, you know what I'm saying? But we had a couple of stores. I had a nigga flash a gun on me in Buffalo at a show. Word.
Back in the day?
Yeah. I won't elaborate on that story too much, but yeah, I had a nigga flash a gun on me on stage at a show. Word, shit used to be nasty on the road. You know what I'm saying? I seen it, like, I ain't started getting problems until I became a rapper. When niggas started calling me Unkasa and running down on me and knowing who I was from Smacks and the Diplomat and all the tapes, that's when the niggas started having problems. When a nigga was just a regular street nigga hustling to get into the bag, it'd be that fame.
Did you have a lot of problems all the time? Or?
Not a lot of problems, but a nigga ran through some trials and tribulations and this shit.
Any you'd like to elaborate on? They didn't stick out to you?
Nah, you don't collaborate on you don't really talk on street shit. You don't talk on street shit. Like I said, what I will elaborate on, so I'll just tell you, niggas don't be wanting to be your turn. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
It was your turn. It was my turn. It was niggas' turn, and niggas wasn't liking that. And, you know what comes with that. You know.
What's your present you suggest to the old you?
Huh?
What's the present you suggest to the old you that you could change, like something that you change right now?
What you mean, owe me?
To elaborate in a jewel fashion on speaking about, like, an educational way to uplift you, the old you.
Well, now, like, niggas is in the information era. You know what I'm saying? I wish we had more information, because niggas was high and niggas, it was on some, the game is to be sold, not to be told shit. Now it should be the other way. The game should be told and not sold, because everybody can't afford the game. You know what I'm saying? That's what's fucked up. That's what's been fucked up from the beginning. Everybody always been hiding the knowledge to keep, you know, that's power. To keep a person dumb or unknowledgeable on something that you're knowledgeable on, you can always jerk them at them. You know what I'm saying? We ain't come up in the game to where niggas know That's why I be looking at these kids. I be like, yo, how do y'all getting all this money, getting all these accolades, and go straight to jail or die out here that quick? You know what I'm saying? I be like, how? Because all we needed back in the days was to keep the money. We wanted the money. Once we got the money, we would have stayed the fuck away from niggas. With money comes knowledge. You get what I'm saying? If you getting richer and you getting dumber, something going on, bro. Me and my niggas, we stayed. I never been to prison. I'm 43. Never been to prison. Half of my niggas never been to prison. You know what I'm saying? A lot of my niggas dead, but that's one accolade that I got. Being 43 years old, born in Harlem in the 80s and never been to prison. You know what I'm saying?
Now, earlier you were talking about your clothing company. I want to elaborate on that, you know, because you got a unique style there. I see, and you formatted a beautiful line.
Cranberry and vodka.
That's the sweater you're wearing right there.
Yeah, it's
underneath that beautiful gumbo.
Yeah, it's one of my pieces. Well, I started Cranberry and Vodka 2014, 2015. It just started out, it was never even a big clothing line at first. I always had ideas. I always been a fly kid, so I always had ideas of like, I can do this fashion shit. It started off with one original piece where I had kind of collaborated. I had put Mickey Mouse and Biggie together and created Mick Papa, and it was basically like a Biggie, like I'll say like a Biggie salute, but I mixed it with Disney, you know what I'm saying, and together it came to Mick Papa, you know what I'm saying. It was just a hoodie with the character with a Coogee on and a Jesus piece, and he had the Mickey ears on, but it looked like a beard. So you know, I tried to, for copyright, I just put my own twist on two great American things, as far as something great as Disney and something great as Biggie, and I just put it together.
Real life, the cartoon. That's beautiful.
And then I did a pair of sweatpants, and I put 1994 on the sweatpants going across, and I took a picture in it. And people was just DMing me, be like, yo, what type of sweatsuit is that? What type of sweatsuit is that? And I was just like, I made this. They was like, yo, I want it. I think that's summer I sold like close to like 400 or 500 sweatsuits. You know what I'm saying? When I was just doing the Mick Papa, I was doing silhouettes of it. And then it got to the point where I went broke doing it because it costs a lot. You know what I'm saying? So after that, like in a pandemic, I wound up like buying my own equipment and shit to do it myself. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, so I can make a profit. But I done from day one, I was getting my stuff placed, like doing product placement on my own. Like I remember when Money and Violence was really popping, I would run down on them. They would wear my sweatsuits and my hats and shit, and they in a web series. And Kiss, in the beginning, he was a big supporter. Shout out to Jada Kiss. He would call me up, be like, yo, make me a piece. I'm going to wear it on my press day for my Top 5 Dead or Alive album. And he did that, sent me the picture right away. Posted, like, people was showing love, you know what I'm saying? But I run it like kind of on a boutique level. I don't mass produce nothing, you know what I'm saying? It only might be 10 pieces, 20 pieces or something. I keep it very limited and rare, just, because I feel like you don't need to see 100 people in the same thing, you know what I'm saying? You want to keep it rare, you know what I'm saying? So if you got one of my pieces, you gonna know it's only gonna be 10 to either 12 to 20 pieces of it. It might only be one piece of it. Some pieces I only do one of. And if I do one of it, it's gonna be expensive because nobody's not gonna have it. You're gonna be the only person, and I actually did it with my bare hands. You know what I'm saying? That's what boosts the value up on my artwork as far as my clothing.
Now, do you always try to simulate a story to your unique pieces, or?
Yeah, everything got to be a story. Everything is a story. Everything is inspired by a thought. Everything is inspired by a feeling, a sound. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I grew up on, favorite movie, favorite rapper, don't matter what it is. I just put my own spin on it. You know what I'm saying? American art. You know what I'm saying? I love culture, and I just put it all together, some shit. You know what I'm saying? I got pieces that I ain't even show you that will blow your mind, but
Can you elaborate on a piece of a story like that you're wearing,
well,
or do you leave it up to the viewer that's wearing it?
well, this is basically a piece that one day I was just had my playlist running and Slick Rick was playing, and I said, let me tell the story of the children's story, you know what I'm saying? And I just found, I found and created images of Slick Rick on my own, and I just basically, when you see the sweater, that basically tells the story of like from the beginning of Slick Rick to now, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's just basically self-explanatory when it comes to art, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. What about that gumbo that you're wearing? That beautiful charm.
Shout to Big Gumbo, shout to Luke Abrazi, Alex Major, shout to them. I got I was blessed enough to be able to get a strand with the Gumbo brand. Shout to the Untouchable Gumbo, you know what I'm saying? Hit me up. Y'all can get that Untouchable Gumbo. Just hit me up. It's the fire. You know what I'm saying? I always been a connoisseur of marijuana since I was a young kid, so it was only right. My boy, I've been around Luke Abrazi from the 45th and Broadway days, so once he got, start doing this cannabis brand, he always told me, he say, when I feel it's the right time, I'm gonna give you your stamp and let you do your thing, and because I know you know how to market and promote things in a way. I ain't really launched it yet. It'll be really hitting the market around, I'll say, around my birthday, June, and all that. But Untouchable Gumbo is definitely on the way.
Before we wrap things up here, is there anything you'd like to tell the viewers to stay tuned to, watch out, where to follow you, how to get in contact with you?
Look out for the relaunch of Unkasa True Hip Hop Stories. Everybody been DMing me, telling me to bring the stories back. When I bring them back, I'm gonna bring them back in a whole new, improved way. You know what I'm saying? A different setting. It's gonna be the same content, but just a different setting. I'm just gonna up the ante a little bit. I'm also start going live on my YouTube page. You can get the merch at Cranberry and Vodka, Cranberry with a K, on Instagram. You can follow me on the Real Unkasa on Instagram. I ain't really on Facebook or none of that type of stuff. I just, I keep a minimum when it comes to social media. You know what I'm saying? So you can basically look out for that. Look out for the project I got coming with Great God real soon. Vanilla Sky Fall. Top of the summer, soon as the weather breaks, soon as it start getting hot, and that sun start coming out, bring some music out for y'all. But until then, still stay tuned into the Brooklyn Way web series. We still like one of the webcasts that's still putting it out. Rest in peace to Boom P from Respect Life. Just went to a service today. Shout out to Boom P. He's one of the biggest innovators in that culture far as web series. So shout out to Boom P and rest in peace, my brother. You definitely left your mark. Definitely left your mark. But just stay tuned. Unkasa, I'm still here. I'm just a little bit older and a little bit more wiser and a little bit more focused. So just pay attention. Keep your glasses, keep your lenses clean. 'Cause it's something to be. It's gonna be a show for you. When I come back on the scene with this music shit, it's definitely gonna be a show. And it's all in fun. You know what I'm saying? All positive vibes. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but positive vibes. Everybody gonna get money. Everybody gonna create dope art. You know what I'm saying? And everybody just gonna stay out each other's way. You know what I'm saying? And just stay positive. Get to this bag. There's too much bullshit in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Let's bring some love back.
Absolutely.
Bring the fun back. You know what I'm saying?
One more thing before we leave. I'd like to touch base on your podcast that you used to have.
Yeah.
How come you don't have that up and running no more?
Well, that's what I did. I just plugged it on the Unkasa True Hip Hop Stories. Well, when I first did it, it was just like an organic feeling. One day I just turned on my laptop and I just started talking to my laptop. about stories, like low endeavors in my life that I felt that would be entertaining for, viewers. As I did it, you know, as you tell your truth, your truth might include certain people and certain aspects and certain things that happen. So you know, some people might cheer you on, some people might be bitter or mad about certain things. So I really kind of stopped putting the content out due to the fact I didn't want to ruffle feathers, because that's exactly what I didn't want my content to be. You know what I'm saying? Because one of my slogans on my show is POS, which stands for Positive Internet Energy. I always want to put the dopest, most positive content, but still entertaining on the internet. But some people, might take certain things that I talk about the wrong way, and it was never I never had no malice towards any of my content. It just be like, this is what happened in my life, and I felt that, it was things that, it was appropriate to share. I wasn't incriminating anybody. I wasn't sending nobody to jail. I wasn't telling. I was just telling my experiences for, educational, informative purposes. You know what I'm saying? For the guys that's young, that might have heard things back in the days, really give them the story and the insight that it really wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying? That sometimes media can really put things and project things where it's really not. You know what I'm saying? So, Unkasa True Hip Hop Story was like informative content more than gossipy or, controversial. You know what I'm saying? Some things might be controversial because of the people that might be included in the stories, you know what I'm saying? But I always kept it clean. You know what I'm saying? I always kept it clean. I got 33 episodes. You can go check it out. Unkasa True Hip Hop Stories. It's just an in-depth look on my life and my endeavors. Some fun stories is kind of entertaining because they funny. You know what I'm saying? I got a few stories. I got the BMF story up there. I got the story about the Cassidy battle. I got a story about me and BMF. It's a bunch of stories, studio stories, Nicki Minaj, just me seeing people on the come up. You know what I'm saying? I got stories about everybody that used to come in the studio. You know what I'm saying? I even do impressions on the show, like reenactments of the shit on my show, the best. I had tried it, and next thing I know, people was just subscribing to the channel. And I kept going, but I'm gonna bring that back for y'all. Like I said, I'm gonna start doing more lives, going live on my Instagram, doing more current events, getting more in tune with what's going on, you know what I'm saying, giving my take in a positive way, you know what I'm saying, because I see a lot of people is just going to controversial, people just get on the camera and just say anything about anybody now, and it's just fucked up that people is able to do that, you know what I'm saying, with no consequences or nothing. So I try to stay out that realm of it, you know what I'm saying, still stay entertaining, still be able for you to be intrigued by what I'm saying, but, on a positive tip, you know what I'm saying. But Unkasa True Hip Hop Story, stay tuned. Go check it out. It's 33 episodes.
You think the viewers can get a freestyle before we go?
I want to freestyle. All right. Yo, Black Mac 11 got my finger itching. Coke I'm flipping, fiend saying that his finger licking. Long Don Dick, the way we bang these bitches. Change positions when I paint a picture, no I paint it vivid. Don Kalinsky, Bentley colored magenta. Oops, meant magenta, seat colored placenta. Treat a Nike box like a Brent truck, get your chips up. Pretty little bitch giving dick sucks, never spit nut. So photogenic, flow so different, so prolific. You and I not the same, nigga, know the difference. You are you, I am him, we just coexisting. Pretty Porsche Papa piston playing pole position. We over living, Vegas nights niggas poker chipping. Smoking different, blow the spinach like I grow the village. Hoes exquisite, go and get it in my polo knitteds. The drop head is hot red, watch me flow up Linux. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Unkasa, man.
Like I said, people, you got KP here, coming here on the road. We got Unkasa over here.
You already know.
This is another Tuesday episode. Make sure you tap in Tuesday, 9 p.m.
Tap in.